Team Stay Shrek, and I'm back with another video. Again, I know it's a little confusing about sometimes like how many videos I like to try to upload each week, but at least I'm trying to get out at least one video per week. I know like there's been a lot of different videos and a lot of different bands, artists, and other things that I've been wanting to catch up on, review, talk about as well, but sometimes they just don't work, and I'm just not pleased with the final product, and sometimes it just doesn't get to the editing stage. Like I might have it recorded, but I just don't edit it. I'm just not pleased. So sometimes, like I said, sometimes I'm gonna try to at least get one video uploaded per week. Sometimes, most times I'll probably get at least 2 videos. It's a good chance you might get 3, maybe 4 videos sometimes, but that's a little rarer, so expect at least probably 2 videos per week. But if I only have 1 video, it will probably only because maybe I'm struggling with content, or I'm just feeling down and just having a hard time trying to figure things out, especially with my work schedule being back on track a little more so. That's all I have to talk about that. Let's get to the topic of this video. Topic of this video is State Champ's new album that they released called Living Proof. Now, if a lot of you might not know who State Champs are, but they are a pop punk band. Their first album was Finer Things, and then their second album was Around the World and Back. And I can say that on Finer Things, I've listened to a good few tracks from that album, and I enjoyed those tracks, and I want to go back and look at that album, and I may give you like a review of that, but I don't know for sure. And then Around the World and Back, I listened through that whole album a couple of years ago, back when that released back in 2015, and I can say that I really love that album. And actually, one song from the album is the first song that I heard, which was Secrets. And as soon as I heard that song, I can say that I was gripped. I was actually listening to All Time Low's podcast, Full Frontal, when I first heard that song, because they like to put a little songs when they went on their breaks and everything within their podcast, and Secrets was one of them. I'm like, what is this song? And I immediately fell in love with this song. It was just that style and everything. I enjoyed that pop punk style I always had, and just what the State Champs brought to the table with that song really got me interested, and I went and listened through that album, and I enjoyed that. Although there were a few like missteps here and there, and now just because I did like a lot of their older works, I was getting pretty pumped for their new album, Living Proof. I can say that it is a very pop punk album again. It's a very fun pop punk album, but at the same time it's very weak at points as well. Like, at times it doesn't sound like that State Champs that I knew to grow to love from their previous album, and those songs that I did hear from their first album, The Finer Things. But it sounds almost more like other bands than themselves, which is what I can say is definitely one of my main faults with this album. And I can say that another reviewer as well on YouTube, John from ARTV, I know he agrees with me on this point as well. I will put a link in the description below to his review as well if you want to check that out if you haven't already. But I can say that I do agree with him on that point. At times, it sounds very reminiscent of All Time Low, and just how All Time Low is. Like, honestly, I don't have that much of a problem with the fact that it sounds like All Time Low, but at the same time I do, because clearly my shirt is an All Time Low shirt. I love All Time Low. They're one of my greatest favorite pop punk bands of all time. One of them. It's not my favorite, the favorite, but back to the point. I can say that a lot of these songs do sound very All Time Low-ish, like on Dead and Gone, especially with their but that's also just because John Feldman was a big producer and was producing on this album, and he loves to put those O's and and everything like that into the albums that he produces, and that really bogs it down, and just in general on a lot of these songs, just almost doesn't work correctly. But I can definitely say that there are some good points on this album as well. Like on the song "Our Time to Go," I honestly didn't really hear this song when I started trying to listen through this album. I initially made it just before that song, and then like about like what was it, just 2 days ago, when I was going back to try to listen through the rest of the album, I came across that song in its music video on YouTube, and just the way the YouTube video went, I was very questionable on it, but I'm sitting there thinking, but I enjoy this song. The music video is very unique, about almost like a E.T. type of thing, how there's an alien girl or whatever that this kid finds and everything, which is very interesting, and then the government is after her, and then she finds her way home and everything. It could also be kind of considered like reminiscent of like Stranger Things as well, but just the way the video was, I didn't really care for the video, but I can say I immediately liked the song for every single part that it is, just how it's a little slower and everything, how just the general feeling of how the song went, and just how it is. It almost feels like at times that it's trying a little too hard to be like reminiscent of like older pop punk songs of that style, but I did enjoy this song, and it is probably one of my favorite moments on this album. But I can say that also, when I was talking about Dead and Gone, that I'm not saying I hate the song, but I don't love it either. Like, it was a good start, and I saw some promise at first, but as soon as like I heard John from ARTV say that song and others on this album like sound a lot like All Time Low, I started thinking, oh my word, this really does. And I just, listening through the rest of this album with other songs like Criminal, Crystal Ball, Lightning, and The Fix Up, and on many others as well, they just sound very, very much too much like All Time Low, like almost as if State Champs is having a little bit of an identity crisis on this album themselves, like trying to figure out who they are. But there are a couple other songs that I can definitely say I like, and one of them is actually one of those songs that sounds very reminiscent of All Time Low, which is the opening track, Criminal. And I can say this song is definitely, the way it kicks off the album is actually pretty good, and I like that chorus and the hook. It just sounds good overall, and it has that good pop punk feel that a lot of people will like, and what I like as well. And then even on the song Mine is Gold, and listening through this song, it sounds a little more like what I expected from State Champs, and this song just sounds a lot more like, almost like that Secrets, a lot of those sounds like from All Around the World and Back. But I do really actually like how this album ends with the song Sidelines. And when they play this song, when I played this song for the first time, I'm like, this actually sounds a lot like what I wanted this album to sound like. And it was very good. It was a great, in my opinion, it was a good way to close the album, and just how they really delivered on this song. I like the hook and just how everything came about. Sidelines is probably one of my favorite songs, right next to Our Time to Go, and I can definitely say that this album is a step back in the right direction, and it's away from where I feel like they should be going, and I just want to see State Champs do well and become more popular, because like they're still fairly underground, but at the same time they do have a pretty good following. But I want to see them succeed and make a little more of their own sound and style within their discography. And I do want to end with my rating now. And it was a very divisive choice on this. I was thinking either like a 6 or 7, but I don't really want to go with the halves, so I'm probably going to lean more with a 6 out of 10 on this album. And just like I said, overall it's a fun album. It's fun pop punk, but at the same time, just some of that structure and the way some of those songs deliver just didn't deliver well for me. So if you're a big pop punk fan, you're definitely gonna enjoy this album. But at the same time, if you're a big State Champs fan, you're probably gonna be let down. So that's just a heads up for you. That is everything that I do have to say about this album, and I hope you enjoyed this review. And don't forget to always, like I always say, comment what you think about the album or what are your favorite songs on this album. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. And I will see you guys in the next video.